A tremendous pleasure to be speaking with you today.
Now back to the Dan Gemis Real Estate Show on AM800.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We've got a question that came through via text from a listener asking about Kitec Plumbing. So we're going to try and call a home inspector because I can give you some details, but I want a professional to actually talk on the topic. So we're going to try and reach out to a home inspector right now, and producer Christina is going to try and reach out to them and see if we can get them on the phone and answer that question right now. So while we get that queued up, I want to sorry, Joyce, you just making sure we have the right phone number there? Yep, we're good. Okay. So we're going to come back after that, and we're going to talk about some pros and cons of buying a fixer-upper. And, you know, there's lots of those pros and cons. I don't want to get to the whole list just yet. You know what? I'm gonna hold off for a couple seconds because by the time we start getting into this, Christine's gonna have. He's already said. Rob Iseppi with Amerispec. Hey, Rob, how are you?
How are you, brother?
Thank you for jumping on with us really quick. We have a listener that's had just texted in asking what to do if a house has Kitec Plumbing. So I figured let's go to the pros. Rob, you see it every day. Kitec Plumbing. Obviously, it's people don't realize how popular it is around here.
Well, yeah, we used it a lot. It ended up being part of a class action lawsuit. And what's happened these days now is the underwriters or the companies that insure this type of plumbing are getting to the point now where they don't want to insure it. And it's typically during a transaction or, during a home inspection that they want it on the report or pointed out. Just an FYI, I also do some inspecting for insurance companies where I go into people's houses for renewals, and they are looking at what they'll do is they'll raise your premium and then they'll give you a timeline to replace it. So if I was the person who texted in and I didn't have any leaks right now, I probably wouldn't, stir that pot, because someone could come in and make you change it when it's not leaking.
Okay, so let's back up. Let's back up a second.
Yeah.
Let's tell the audience, for those who don't know, what is Kitec Plumbing?
So Kitec is a type of plumbing that was used during the 90s and the 2000s, and basically it's an aluminum pipe wrapped with plastic. It typically comes in orange for red, or hot, and blue for cold, but there are different colors and different names. And there was a class action lawsuit that lists all these names. And basically it was for your hot and cold water. And it was also used for radiant heating, where you would put it inside of a concrete slab and you could heat your slabs or your floors with it as well. So what happened with this pipe is it's not that so much the pipe had a defect, is that if you installed it wrong, it created a reaction where different metals met, and it created like a corrosion, and this allowed water to infiltrate the liner of the pipe, and the pipes would swell, or they would corrode at the fittings, and they would burst and leak. And there's been lots of publicity and articles about it, but some people have never had a problem with it. And it seems to be only now, more than anything, in the last few years, an insurance issue, and that's who's more concerned than anyone else. Although when you get a home inspection, you definitely want to check the fittings, and you want to verify whether it is or not. It doesn't matter anymore as far as the class action lawsuit, because that's been settled, and no one's getting paid to replace it or any of that stuff. But currently you're insured for it if you have it, and you don't know what you have. But if you got a home inspection and someone pointed it out to you with those conditions, it needs to be addressed. So
now,
I guess for the texter, he needs to make sure there's no corrosion at the fittings where the pipe joins two different areas of the home. And keep in mind that certain plumbers will tell you it's no good because they didn't use it. But there's other plumbers that used it and have never had a problem. So it's you have to inspect it. That's the main thing. You have to inspect it first. Until you know, and until you see a problem with it, there is no problem, basically.
So you mentioned it earlier, but really this was mostly used in North America between 95 and 2007, right?
Yes, but unfortunately I find some of these codes even up until 10, 11, 12 because it was surplus. And it's that. And people used it. So there's codes on it. It doesn't always say Kitec. It could say Plum Better. There's a French name for it. It had like 9 different names. And there's also a red and blue version. But it's mostly the fittings. And what happens is because it's not a true plastic pipe. If you look at your home today, I don't know if you did copper on your home or the plastic, but yours is a clear plastic probably that you can see through. Yes. Well, this is a lined pipe. What this is an aluminum pipe with plastic on the outside of it. And somehow it would rot where it connected, and the water would either make it burst off or the water would get in between the plastic and the metal, making the pipe swell like when you blow up one of those skinny clown balloons, kind of like that.
Yeah. Now, really, if someone has issues, like, what is the fix?
Well, by now, if you've had issues with Kitec, the fix is to replace it. People are still cutting in repair fittings. They still make a fitting. There is no approved fitting for Kitec, and plumbers are going to love me for saying this. But you can use a shark bite, and the shark bite is like the universal connect copper to whatever. So they'll use these shark bites. But because the piping or the company does not make that product anymore, there is really no approved way to cut it and reconnect it to something else. But the shark bite seems to have taken care of that problem. So if I saw it and you were selling a house and I went and did the home inspection and I saw the house had mostly Kitec plumbing, I would make the buyer, first I would look at condition, and if it wasn't leaking, the next step would be to make them aware of what the issues are and what potentially the insurance company might say. And my understanding is we're down to very few insurance companies for homes that will insure it on a new homeowner basis. If you already have it, no one's going to call you and no one's going to call tomorrow to cancel you, but I don't know if I would call them and ask them about it, I guess. Because it's been in the news and it's been on CBC, it's been everywhere. Everyone in the industry knows about it, and it's one of those things like the galvanized plumbing from when you and I would inspect back in the day, and the house had some galvanized plumbing, and you got to change it because the water's rusty, and it's the same. It's just it's the new galvanized. Does that sound?
Yep.
Kind of like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's the new knob and tube. It's like aluminum was the new knob and tube, and it's just it's a hurdle, but everything is repairable. It's a fixable thing, and these days with the cost of renovations, it's something that can be addressed during a renovation. And most of the homes that have it are getting updated with kitchens and bathrooms, anyways. So now's the time to update it if you're going to do it, anyways. So,
well, Rob, I appreciate you coming on with us.
How
does, if anyone has questions about it, how do they reach out to you?
They can reach out to just call 519-739-1010, or if you don't mind putting my email or my website on the, I'll text it to Joyce, my website on a link or something, and they can ask questions, they inquire.
What is the web address?
Instagram, any way they want. I'll answer questions. I love answering questions, and I'll even send them sample reports. I actually had a sample report posted here that was covering what I would say about Kitec back in the day.
What is the website?
The website, the easiest one to reach us at is, Amerispec.ca, Windsor.
Awesome. Fantastic, Rob. Thank you as always. Rob Iseppi with Rob Iseppi with Amerispec. Great resource there. So hopefully that answers the question for our listener. We're going to come back. We're going to have some fun with our fun question today. What superpower would you pick? If you could pick anything, what would it be? We're also going to give away our gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company in the next half hour. If you haven't already entered, text us right now at 10800 with the keyword popcorn and your first and last name, and you're automatically entered to win. Text the keyword popcorn with your first and last name. We'll give that away in the next half hour as well. Okay, so much more to come right here on the Dan Gemis Real Estate Show.